Hello, dear students. How are you? I hope so. You're doing great. This is Lakshmi. Welcome to my channel, Maths Super Tips and Tricks. In this channel, we are going to learn various types of examinations, that to objective type regarding the maths. In objective type examinations, you have to focus the more number of questions within short time. So I'm using amazing super tips and tricks to crack any type of question for any chapter easily within fraction of seconds. Those are mostly helpful to you for your better progress in your final examination to get the best and better ranks. Okay, if you're not yet to watch my videos, whose links are there in the description, please watch them. Easily can follow each and every topic. So with amazing tips and tricks I'm using. Okay. In this today's lecture in sets and relations, I'm going to teach about the sets. You have to know what is a set, what are the types of sets, what are the elementary operations of sets, and what are the various content, etc. All these are from your lower classes. Just you have to recollect and apply here in different angles. We may frame the question in your JEE means compulsory one or two questions will come from the sets and the relations. In this today's video exclusive, I'm teaching about the sets. In another video, I will take care of the relations. Because of relations depends upon the sets. If you know sets very well, easily you can follow the relations also. Okay, now first of all, what is a set? Set is simply collection of well-defined objects. Set is what? Collection of well-defined objects. We can come across so many things in our daily life. Okay, like a collection of fruits, so and so category, like apples. There is a, what is that? Well-defined apples. Collection of the apples. Okay, like same so many observations, like collection of the letters of the word mathematics. What is well defined here? Word mathematics. Letters of the word you can collect, form a set. Okay, and in alphabets, vowels, set of vowels, collection of vowels, that is only one of the set. What are the vowels in alphabets? A, E, I, O, U. Same way, we can use anything. So any type of the thing, we can collect it from well-defined objects. And here I explained to you what is a set. Now, set can be formed in two types. There are the two formations of sets. One is roster form, another is set builder form. First, what is a roster form? Any collection of the objects well defined, we can include a bracket and separated by the commas, like set of natural numbers, for example. Set of the natural numbers up to 10. Natural numbers are starting from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is called as roster form. This roster form, what I given this example, set of the natural numbers up to 10, including 10. So all those are called as elements separated by the commas, including this flower bracket. Clear? This is called as roster form. Same thing we can write set builder form. Set builder form. In this case, suppose there are few elements we can easily write in roster form, but there are many elements. So writing the every element with commas, it takes too much time. That's why we can mention same set in the set builder form with a single letter, like suppose it can be denoted set X such that. This is called as such that. We can use instead of slash, we can use a dots also. Set X such that where X belongs to N. What is N meaning? Capital N means natural numbers. That to X is less than equals to 10. Same notation we can write in set builder form. In set builder form, we can use only single letter, and we have to mention what is nature of that letter. What is nature of this letter? N X belongs to N. N means natural numbers. We are not taking all natural numbers. We are taking up to 10. That's why again you have to mention X is less than or equals to 10. These are called as formation of sets. Either we can write in the set roster form or set builder form. Both are the important. Already all these you know from your lower classes. Just you have to recollect one by one. Clear? Now we'll discuss about the what are the types of sets. There are the various types of sets. One is first of all null set. What is the meaning of null set? If this is denoted as pi or like within flower bracket like this. There is either this symbol or this symbol you can use. This is called as null set. It is also known as empty set. What is the meaning of null set? In that set no elements. No elements. That is called as null set. For example, set of odd digits in the year 2020. Set of odd digits in the year 2020. In 2020, what are the digits? 2020. Is there any odd digit? No. That is called as null set. Right? And one more thing you have to remember. If you write the set elements in the sets, we have to write only one time. Don't take them repeatedly. Suppose you want to write the elements of this 2020, we can write set 20, maybe 02. Order is not important. So we can write in any order, but we can take only one time. One element is one time. So what is the example I given for empty set? Set of odd digits in the year 2020 is clearly empty set because no single odd digit here. Next term, singleton set. Singleton set means contains only one element. For example, so set of the odd numbers in the year 2021. In 2021, set of the odd digits. What is the odd digit here? Clearly, only one odd digit 1. So this is clearly singleton set. What is the meaning of singleton set? It contains only one element. In the year 2021, what is odd digit here? Only one odd digit 1. Clear? And we can come across the finite sets in finite sets. Finite set. In that word only there is a meaning. Finite means they are countable. Countable number of elements in that set, that is called as finite set. So, for example, in this example, how many elements are there? 10 elements are there. This is called as one of the finite set because they are countable. Okay. In case of the uncountable elements are there in a set, that is called as infinite set. Suppose set of the natural numbers 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. Set of natural numbers up to infinity. This is clearly infinite set. Clear? I explained to you null set, singleton set, finite set, infinite set. And also you have to know what is a cordial number. This is very, very important. Cordial number. Cordial number means in a finite set, how many elements are there, that number indicates a cordial number. Suppose set n, in this example, how many elements are there? 10 elements are there. Therefore, the number of elements in natural numbers in this example is 10. That number indicates a cordial number. Suppose A is one of the set, contains like A, E, I, O, U, vowels. Cordial number of A, number of elements of A is denoted by n of A. What is n of A here? Clearly 5. There are 5 vowels. Clear? This is cordial number. Cordial number we can collect only from the finite set. Cordial number of A is denoted by n of A. That means number of elements in A. Clear? And we can come across some more types of the sets. Clear? First of all, when the A is equals to B, when the two sets are equal. So I will give one of the example. Suppose if you take the A is set of the letters of the word test. A is a set of the letters of the word test. There are the letters T, E, S. As said in set form, we can take any letter one time only. So not repeated. T, E, S. Order doesn't matter. Again T, S we cannot take. Already you choose the T and S. This is what is set A? Set of the letters of the word test. Maybe tests, right? And you can take the B is another example, sets. And what are the set of the letters of the word sets? That is S, E, T. You know, among these two A and B, what you can observe that? Both have the same number of elements. Here 3 elements, here 3 elements, and also same elements. Here S, E, T are there. Then we can call it as A, B are equal, right? When the A, B are equal, in the two sets, number of elements are equal as well as they have the same elements. Then the two sets are said to be equal sets. Now we can observe that equivalence. Suppose if you take the A, we can use this equivalency symbol. A equivalence to B means number of elements in A is equals to number of elements in B. Then A equivalence to B is not have the same elements. For example, set of the letters of the word teacher. Suppose if you take A is a set of the letters of the word teacher. T, E, A, C, H, R. You know already E have taken, don't take again here. T, E, A, C, H, R. This is a set of the letters of the word teacher, A. And student if you take. Student. What is a set B? Contain the set of the letters of the word student. That is S, T, U, D, E, N. Okay. T already have taken. No, don't take again here. So how many elements are there here? S, T, U, D, E, N. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. In the set A also 6 elements. Here we can call it as A equivalence to B. Is it clear what is the difference between them? Here number of elements are same as well as elements also as it is. Here elements may be different, but number of elements A is same as number of elements in B. Then they are called as equivalent sets, right? Now one of the most important, that is subset of A, B. A is subset of B. When the A is subset of B, it is denoted as like this. A is subset of B means every element of A is belongs to B. For example, maths. What is a set A? Contains the elements from the letters of the word maths. M, A, T, H, S. Set B is a mat if you take letters of the word mat, that is M, A, T. A, T, M also we can write. This is mat, this is maths. What you can observe that every element of B is in A. Here clearly B is subset of A. B is subset of A. Clear? So every element of B is in A. Maybe A, if suppose A is in B, then A is subset of B. And here one point you have to recognize, how many subsets we can form a set contains, suppose n element. That is the most important for objective point of view. How many subsets we can form of a set contains n elements. Suppose here a set contains how many elements? 6 elements. How many subsets we can form? Like mat, A, T, etc. There are the single element set, maybe 2 element sets, etc. So that is one of the note you have to know. Number of subsets of set contains n elements is 2 power n. If you use this tip, it is a very important. What is subset? You know it clearly. In this example, which is subset? B is subset of A because of every element of B is in A. Clear? Now proper subset. Proper subset means what? Proper subset means what? Every element of A is belongs to B as well as same. Every element is of A is belongs to B and also A is equals to B. Then it is called as proper subset. In this case, we can write A is a symbol. This is called as proper subset. Similarly, B is equals to A also. Clear? In case of proper subsets, how many proper subsets we can form? 2 power n with -1. Sorry, except that set. What is a proper subset? Every subset is a proper subset except the equal sets. Thus for number of proper subsets we can form 2 power n minus 1. Means what? Same set is there, na? That one you have to remove one set. That is called 2 power n minus 1. Proper subset is not every element of A is belongs to B, but A is not equals to B. That is a proper subset. Clear? And also you know that clearly power set. Power set means what? Set of subsets of an elements of some A. A is one of the set. Set of all subsets of A is called as a power set. So power set we can denote it as P of A. P of A. Suppose A has some elements like 1, 2. So we can write the P of A is set of pi null set. Every null set is subset of for every set. Phi we can unit it, otherwise we can use a flower bracket. Phi is a subset of A, and set 1, set 2, set 1, 2. All these are the subsets of all these phi, set 1, set 2, set 1, 2 are subsets of A. This is formed with the set of subsets of A, that is denoted as what? P of A, that is called as a power set. Power set of A is denoted as P of A. What is a P of A? Set of all subsets of A. Suppose A has a 2 elements 1, 2. So what are the subsets of A? Phi null set as well as single element set 1, set 2 and 2 elements of set 1, 2. Clear? This is called as power set. And how many elements are there in a power set? Means number of elements in power set is a what? Number of elements in P of A is clearly 2 power n. What is a subset? Number of subsets can be formed what? 2 power n. So what is the power of power set? Form the subsets only. Therefore, how many elements are there in power set is simply 2 power n when A contains the n elements. Clear? What I explained, what are the various types of sets, what is a set, what are the forms of sets, that is a basic introduction about the sets. Now what are the operations on the sets, 2 or more sets, what are its operations? These are also you know very well, just you can recollect it. Those I will explain with a Venn diagram for your understanding purpose, and also in examination point of view Venn diagram plays very important role. We can collect the solution by the Venn diagram. Okay, one of the property that is known as union. If we write the like this, A union B, union also we can take it as a plus A plus B. You know, in all India level examinations you have to know alternate symbols and alternate names. So because some states mention as A union B, some other states mention as A plus B, like this. That's why you have to know both of them. A union B is also we can write A plus B, means the elements which are in A or B. Suppose X belongs to A union B means what? X belongs to A or X belongs to B. Means combination of A, B without repetition. How can you represent this is in Venn diagram? Suppose this is a universal set, contains the 2 elements A and B, like this. This is A, this is a B. What is the meaning of A union B? Which is in A or also B. Means we want total this total result we want, right? Combination of A and B. This is A union B, or we can call it as A plus B. Next one, A intersection B. Intersection also we can take it as into AB. A intersection B means the elements which are common in both A and B. The common elements in A and B indicates the what that intersection. Intersection we can write either reverse U or A into B also we can write. So when according to the Venn diagram we can write the intersection. You know that clearly. What is it about the intersection? The common part of between A and B. You know, this is A, this is a B. What is a common part of A and B? This is a common part between the A and B. This is called as intersection of A and B, because of this is common for both A and B. Clear? These are called as Venn diagrams. Those are very, very important for our understanding purpose. We can use the two or more sets. First, we can understand with the two sets. Now, we can observe that disjoint sets. Disjoint means what? There is no common element between them. Disjoint, we can write A intersection B must be phi, means null set. No common element between those. We can write simply Venn diagram. Suppose this is box. Two sets will be separated like this. They doesn't intersect because of no common element. Clear? This is called as, this is A, this is B. What is you can understand from this one? No intersection part means those are the disjoint sets. Disjoint sets means A intersection B must be phi, right? Means empty set. Next, we can observe that difference of two sets. It's a very, very, very important. Difference of two sets. Suppose A and B are two sets. Difference of them, difference you know very well, minus A minus B we can indicate. Maybe it can be indicated as A by B. It is also indicated as A slash B. In this A minus B only there is a difference. Meaning, means what? Which is in A but not in B. We have to subtract the B from the A. Means we have to eliminate the elements of B which are in A. Indirectly A minus B means what? The elements which are in A but not in B. It is the meaning of this is Venn diagram. How can you take? This is difference. Difference of two sets means what? Which suppose A and B are two sets, it is denoted by A minus B or A by B or A slash B. That means which are in A but not in B. For example, here according to the Venn diagram, this is A, this is a B. Here A, this is B. So which are in A but not in B. In A part enter into the B. Which part is enter into the B? Intersection part is enter into the B. Except that one we have to take only A part. Means indirectly we want this result. Okay, doesn't enter into the intersection part. That's it. It is also we can write A minus of A intersection B. What is the meaning of this is? From the A we have to remove the intersection part of A and B. We can collect only A minus B. We can write we can take the B minus A also. What is the B minus A? Can you guess B minus A? Which is in B but not in A, like this. Which is in B but not in A. That is A, B, A. This is also we can add B with minus of A intersection B. What is our part enter into the A? Intersection part. That is we have to remove from the total B. This is a meaning of difference of two sets. So, what is A minus B? Which are in A but not in B. Now, we can observe that next one, fifth one is symmetric difference. Symmetric difference. Symmetric difference between the two sets A and B is denoted as A delta B. It is equals to A minus B union B minus A. Means what we want this part as well as this part. Both combination is intersection. Both combinations A minus B and B minus A. Here A minus B, B minus A indicates A delta B. That is called as symmetric difference. So this one shall I explain with the Venn diagram? Easily you can understand by this Venn diagram. Right? This is A, this is a B, A, B. A delta B is which is in A but not in B, A minus B, which is in B but not in A, B minus. This dotted shaded portion indicates A delta B. Here also shaded portion indicates A minus B. Where the shaded portion indicates the resultant value from the Venn diagram. Clear? And the most important, that is a complementary set. Complementary set. That is you can take in a 6 point. Complementary set of A is denoted as either A power C or A dash. it can be different. Suppose u is one of u or x. What is u or x is one of the universal set which contains a is its a subset. Suppose a is one of the subset of universal set u, then a complements means which are in u but not in a. Indirectly u minus a. What is a complement? Suppose if you take the u is one of the universal set and a is subset of u, a complement is denoted as either a power c or a dash is simply u minus a. U minus a means what? Which is in u but not in a. For example, this is a Venn diagram. This is total universal set in which a is subset. This is subset of this universal set. This is universal set, this is a. Okay, so what you can observe that, what I said about the a complement, which is in u but not in a, means it is doesn't enter into the a. All points we can take like this, but we cannot take the a, exclude the a. This is only our required complement. This is simply a complement. Okay, so what is a complement means? Which is in u but not in a, that's simply u minus a. These are the basic operations between the two sets: union, intersection, and disjoint. Here difference of two sets, here symmetric difference of two sets, complement of a set here. Okay, you have to know these elementary operations, that is called as operations on the sets. Two sets are given. Then if you know very well all these with the Venn diagram, then if there are three sets also we can use it easily. Clear? Now we can use some tips and tricks which are depends upon the union and intersection of two or more sets. Now you have to know what are the tips and tricks on the operations of sets like union, intersection, complementary and difference of sets, etc. are given. On those, what are the tips and tricks? These are the most helpful to you for crack the various types of questions in your final JEE mains. So few of them are you know very well, in which suppose A and B are any two non-empty sets, n of A union B we can rewrite as n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. What is n of A union B is n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. And what is n of A complement intersection B? What is the meaning of A complement intersection B? Which is in B but not in A. Indirectly this is B minus A. N of B minus A. Okay, n of B minus A is a n of B minus n of A intersection B. Okay, n of A complement intersection B complement. B means what? Which is in B but not in A. Indirectly n of B minus A, that is n of B minus n of A intersection B. Same way n of A intersection B complement. Indirectly that is n of A minus B. So I have given to A minus B we can add, which is in A but not B means from the A we can remove the A intersection B. Number of elements in A minus B means number of elements in A minus number of elements its intersection. Right? And fourth one, suppose n of A delta B. What I said about the A delta B? That is symmetric difference of A and B, which means A minus B union B minus A. A minus B is this is n of B minus n of A union A intersection B. Union means what? Plus I said n of A minus n of A intersection B. Now tell me what is n of A delta B is? Sum of these two. Indirectly that is n of A plus n of B minus these two are minus n of A intersection B is twice, that is 2 times of n of A intersection B. Right? Number of elements in A delta B means number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus 2 times of number of elements in A intersection B. And there are two complementary sets like n of A complement. Suppose if you take the intersection B complement, that one you can take n of U. What I said about U? U is simply universal set maybe U or X we can take according to his given letter we can use. From the universal set we have to remove the N of A union B. You have to remember here one thing, in case of complementary set, intersection becomes union, union becomes intersection. You know, N of A complement intersection B complement is equals to number of elements in U minus number of elements in A union B. In case of intersection is there, but here you can take union. Can you guess next one? Can you guess same property on the next one? Yes. A complement union B complement, if you take, that is simply N of U minus N of. Yes, exactly. A intersection B you can get. All these tips and tricks don't by heart. Easily you can learn what is a basic point. If you know, then it will be very easy for you. There is no difficult at all. Just you have to come across what are the basic concept, different types of sets, what are the operations of sets. These are very easy for you. There is no difficult at all. In case of the three sets are there non-empty sets, that is we can take N of A union B union C. We can take it as N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus N of A B. I said to intersection I am taking as into also, minus N of BC minus N of CA plus N of ABC. In the questions, I will avoid the N also. Just I am using A, B, and A, B, A into B like that for our time saving purpose. Okay, N of A union B union C we can write like this. If there are the three non-empty sets, N of A union B union C we can write N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus N of A intersection B minus N of B intersection C minus N of C intersection A plus N of A intersection B intersection C. These are the various operations, tips and tricks on the sets majorly. Wherever maybe some other will come, I will explain in place of the questions. Along with the sets, you have to know one of the major point that is applicable in sets as well as relations. That is called as Cartesian product between the two non-empty sets. What is a Cartesian product between the two non-empty sets? Suppose A is one of the set like 1, 2. B is another set like AB. We can write all order pairs like this. It is denoted as A cross B, Cartesian product from the two non-empty set A and B. We can denote it as A cross B can be formed with the order pairs from A and B like 1A and 1B, right, with 2A and 2B. These are the elements. Cartesian product A and B from A to B is denoted as A cross B. General definition will go like this. A cross B is defined as set X belongs to order pair AB. So X such that X belongs to order pair AB forever A belongs to A and B belongs to B. This is general definition. Okay, no need to worry about the general definition. You have to know, can you take from the two non-empty sets A and B. If you understand the example, that's enough. Okay, now this is one of the point, how can you form the Cartesian product from two non-empty sets A and B. That's okay. And how many elements are there in the Cartesian product A, B? When the A contains M elements, suppose N of A contains M elements, N of B means number of elements B is N, then number of elements in its Cartesian product AB is simply product of them, Mn. What is N of A? Number of elements in A is M, number of elements in B is N. What is this? Is number of elements in its Cartesian product AB, A cross B is Mn. See this example. A contains 2 elements, B contains 2 elements. A cross B contains how many elements? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements. 2 into 2, 4. If you take any elements, but those must be non-empty sets. Clear? So This is about the Cartesian products are very, very important. In the final examination, you may frame the number of questions. In previous, we can observe that these are the depends of Cartesian product applicable in sets as well as relations also. That's why I explained here, because I'm going to do the questions now on depends upon the sets which are from the Cartesian product also, some questions. Okay, that's we have to know what is a Cartesian product, what are the, how many elements are there in Cartesian product of A and B. How many elements are there in AB? The Cartesian product of AB is Mn when A contains M elements, B contains N elements. Just you can go through one by one, just you can recollect how you can crack the questions within fraction of seconds easily without difficult. We can focus the any question if we given is from the examination, sorry, from the sets and the relations, easily can do. There is no difficulty at all. But we have to refer all these tips and tricks, then we can crack the any type of question. Clear? Now you can start the questions without delay, right? Now look at the questions one by one. All models I am going to cover. So what are those we look at? Question number 1. If n of A is a 4, n of B is a 7, then the minimum and the maximum number of elements in A union B. Number of elements in A and the number of elements B are given. Now we have to find out minimum and maximum number of elements in A union B. For that, what we have to recollect? Suppose there are the some elements in A, some elements in B. Number of elements A union B is minimum when A is subset of B. You have to know this point. If A is subset of B, then only A union B has a minimum elements. A is subset of B means indirectly A union B is equals to B. A union B is equals to B means what is the minimum number of elements in B now? Minimum number of elements A union B now? Minimum number of elements in A union B. Is n of B or not? Yes. Because A union B is equals to B. Why it is A union is equal to B? Because A is subset of B. Let us see this example. Suppose A is 1, 2, B the set to 1, 2, 3. What is A union B? You know very well. Set 1, 2, 3. Set 1, 2, 3 is equals to B or not? You know clearly in this example A is subset of B. A is subset of B means every element of A is belongs to B. Clearly A is subset of B, therefore A union B is equals to B. So what is the condition here? When the A union B has a minimum elements, when A is subset of B, indirectly A union B is equals to B. Therefore minimum number of elements in A union B is a number of elements in B. According to our question, how many elements are given in B? 7. Therefore, minimum number of elements in A union B is 7, right? Minimum number is 7 we got. Now, maximum number of elements. Maximum of n of A union B. When the A union B has a maximum number of elements, when A intersection B is a 5. Means A, B are disjoint sets, then only A and B has a maximum number of elements. A and B is equal to 5. 5 means what? Null set means no element in that. Indirectly n of A intersection B is a 0. Therefore, what is n of A union B now? N of A plus n of B. Because n minus n of A intersection B means 0. So, therefore, maximum number of elements in A union B is n of A plus n of B. N of A given as 4, n of B is given as 7. 4 plus 7 is 11, right? Very simple, but you have to know this concept. So, when the A union B has a minimum elements, when A union B has a maximum number of elements. When A union B has a minimum number of elements, and A is subset of B, maximum when A intersection B is equal to 5. That is important here. So, according to our question, the number of minimum and maximum elements in A union B is which option? 7 and 11 is clearly third option. Clear? Some additional I said already, some additional tips if you want. So, we want to know, we can use in the question I said already. So but because of all I have given the same place, there is a chance to get the confusion. Right, now come to this question. Let X be universal set. Universal set is denoted here X, or for set A and B. Okay, X be the universal set of two sets A and B, means what? A, B are subsets of X in the indirectly. And N of A is given as 200, N of B 300, N of A intersection B 100, and N of A complement intersection B complement is a 300. Now what is asking? Then N of X means number of elements in universal set is asking. Clear? So I have given the options also. First of all, I am taking this is, since N of A complement intersection B complement is given as 300. What I have given this tip? That is N of U have given there, but you are using X minus N of A union B we have to use. In case of complement here intersection, but you have to use union. N of X minus N of A union B is given that indirectly 300. N of X we want minus N of A union B. N of A union B we can add? Yes. N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B means AB is a 300. That is N of X we want minus N of A 200 plus N of B 300, 200 plus 300, 500 minus A intersection B 100. Therefore, this is 500 minus 100 is equals to 300. Therefore, N of X is minus 500 minus 100 is 400 is equals to 300. Therefore, what is N of X? Is 3 plus 4, 700. Like this, we can find out number of elements in universal set X according to the given question. Which option? That is clearly third option. Clear? Now we can come forward some more questions, right? See the next question. 3 is given that clearly in a group of 70 people, 37 play cricket, 52 play football. There are two sports, play cricket and football. In a group of 70 people, 37 play cricket, 52 play football. For our convenience, number of persons play cricket, N of C. C stands for cricket, 37, and N of F, football, is 52. We have to take, right? Now next sentence. And each person play at least one sport. Each person play at least one. How many of them are there? Cricket and football. At least means what? Union. You have to remember A union B means either A or B or at least one of A and B. Clear? That is that word is also important here. Indirectly, N of C union F is given as 70. Total members 70. Right? And next. Then the number of persons play both. Number of persons play both means what? Intersection. Both of them means A intersection B we want. In place of A, B have taken C and F. Indirectly we want N of C intersection F. You know N of C intersection F you can add N of C plus N of F minus N of CF. Right? From here onwards, I am eliminating the N also for saving the time. Okay, 70, 37 plus 52. How much? 79. No, 89, right? 89 minus CF 70. 89 minus 70 is 19. Therefore, number of persons play both is 19. Which option? Clearly, first option. Clear? Right. Now come to the next question, number 4. What is given? Two finite sets have n and n elements. Two finite sets have, each one is first set has m elements, second set has n elements. Then the number of subsets of the first set A is indicated as first set A. Number of subsets of set A is 56 more. Is 56 more. More means not additional. Then the subsets of B are given to you. Number of subsets of a set contains n elements is 2 power n. So indirectly, number of subsets of A means 2 power. In place of the m, the n, there is m. Number of elements in A is m is equals to 56 more means additionally plus number of subsets of than B. Number of elements in B is n, therefore number of subsets is 2 power n. Clear? Indirectly he has given this equation. Right. Now what is asking? We can find out m and n values. By the splitting this one, we cannot get the m and n values. Already options are there. We can verify the options. By the options verification, m and values we can check it. First option 7. M is 7 if you take 2. 2 power 7 is 128. 2 power 6 is 64 plus 56 is not 128. Therefore, it's not a first option. No second option. 2 power 6 LHS. 2 power 6 is 64. Right? RHS 56 plus 2 power 3. 56 plus 2 power 3 is 8. 56 plus 8 is also 64. Therefore, which is correct option? Second option is correct one. For this question, what you have to know? How many subsets can be formed from a set A contains n elements or m elements? Whatever may be letter is. Suppose contains n elements is 2 power n, right? See the question number 5 and 6. What is the given question number 5? If n of A 50, n of B 20, n of A intersection B 10, then n of A delta B. What is given n of A delta B? N of A delta B is given as what? N of A means A plus n of B, B minus 2 times of n of A intersection B, AB. Directly I am taking here for easiness purpose. I given to you n of A in delta B is n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. That is only I am using here. N of A 50. 50 plus n of B 20 minus 2 times of A intersection B is 10. Yes, 70 minus 20 is 50. That's it. This is our required result. According to the options, it is a clearly first option. Clear? In case of the objective type, steps are not important. You have to avoid the maximum steps. You can calculate, even though choosing the values, calculate maximum in your mind. That is easy way you can follow when you know the tips and tricks and the practicing. Okay, there is no difficult letter, just you have to do the practice. Clear? Now come to the next question. What is given? Question number 6. Let A and B sets containing 2 and 4 elements. Set A containing 2 elements, right? Set B containing 4 elements, right? N of A, N of B are given respectively. Means A contains 2 elements, B contains 4 elements. Next. Then the number of subsets of A cross B having 3 or more elements. Now we have to find out how many subsets of A cross B contains which are having the 3 or more elements. Subsets means what? Maybe empty set, maybe 1 element set, 2 element set, 3 element set. Out of all element sets we can take. But here mention that from 3 or more elements. How it is possible of A cross B? Suppose n of A is 2, n of B is a 4. How many elements are there in A cross B? Already said to you, in n of A m elements, n of B n elements, n of A cross B is m n elements. Therefore, number of elements in A cross B 2, 4, 8. Now, how many subsets of A cross B forms at least minimum 3 or more elements? Actually, I said to you, number of subsets of a set contains n elements is 2 power n. That is, we can get the set containing no element, selection of 0 from the n, maybe 1 element, maybe 2 element, maybe all elements. This is simply sum of the n binomial quotients. 0 to n is, what is that? From the binomial theorem, 2 power n. That is, we used already directly 2 power n. How it is explained here. Here we want from 3 or more elements. We don't want 0, 1, 2. Means we want NC3 plus NC2, NC4 plus NC5 and so on, NCN. In place of N, what is there? 8. 8C3 plus 8C4 plus 8C5 and so on, 8C8. To use this tip 2 power n, we want from 0 to n. But what are missed here? 8C0, 8C1, 8C2 are missed. Add and subtract them. 8C0 plus 8C1 plus 8C2 plus 8C3 and so on up to 8C8 for easy calculation purpose. With minus 8C0 you have to remove plus 8C1 plus 8C2, right? Now this is indirectly 2 power 8 minus, 8C0 value 1, NC0 is 1, well, and 8C1, here there is a 1, whatever may be value that comes here, 8 plus 8C2 we can write 8C2 as 8 into 7 by 2. Two successive numbers we have to write in decreasing order like 8 into then 7 by 2, 2 fours, 4 7s 28. This is 2 power 80 is a 256 with minus here 9, 28 plus 6, 28 plus 8, 36 plus 1, 37. Right? 256 minus 37 is 16 minus 7 is 9, 4 minus 3 is a 1, 2, 219. So it's a very, very important question. Subsets of a set containing A cross B. Right? That is Cartesian product you have to apply here. Therefore, according to option, which option is correct one? Yes, it is clearly third option. Is it clear? Now I am covering all types of models. So I can follow. Those are most helpful to you for your final JEE mains. Right? Let's look at the question number 7 and 8. Question number 7. What is that? In a class of 100 students, 55 students have passed in maths. How many students are passed in maths? That is simply I am taking M. N of M I am taking M. M is 55. Have passed in maths and 67 passed in physics. 67. 67 is P. Physics. Then the number of students passed only maths. Number of students passed only maths. So I will show to you Venn diagram. How can you take it? This is a maths. Suppose this is a physics. Okay, what is asking? How many of them are only maths passed? Means we want only this part. Okay, to collect this part, what you have to do? From the total M, we have to remove the intersection of M and P. So we don't know the intersection of M and P, but what are the total strength? What is total strength? 100. That is union. N of M union P is given as 100. Right? What is N of MP? Means what intersection? Is that clearly M plus P minus M union P. Okay, according to the M of A union B formula, N of A union B formula given, N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. Intersection we can take like this and union you can take like this. Okay, values of MP and union. MP, that is 55 plus 67 with minus 100. Right? Now this is a 7 plus 5, 12 to 1. 5 plus 6, 11, 1, 12. 122 minus 100. This is 22. This is the number of students study both maths and physics. But what we want? Study only maths. Means what? M but not P. We want this is meaning of this is. Which is in M but not in P. Means what? Total M we can remove the MP. Okay, from total M we have to remove this part, MP part, means what? Intersection part. What is the total M? 55 minus intersection is 22. 55 minus 22 is clearly 33. So how many students are study only maths is 33. Maybe you may ask only physics like that. Okay, what is common part we have to remove? In this case, there are the two types of the sets, maths and physics. Maybe more than two also will go. Look at this question, you can understand if there are the 3 sets. Okay, is it clear? What is given? Number of students study in maths, physics are given, and total number of students is given as 100. We can find out number of students study both physics and maths. I got 22, but we want only study maths, means total students study maths from this one, or study both maths and physics common part we have to remove, right? That is only we did here. That is option number 3. 33 is option number 1, right? Now look at that question number 8. Don't worry, simple way how to take all these terms easily. What is in this question? In a class of 55 students, the number of students studying different subjects are 23 in maths, is maths 23, right? 24 in physics, physics 24, right? 19 chemistry, C 19. M stands for maths, P stands for physics, C stands for chemistry. You can understand now. And next, 12 in M and P, MP 12, right? 9 in M and C, MC 9, 7 in P and C, PC 7. Okay, and 4 in all 3 subjects, means what? MPC, maths and physics and chemistry, we can take it as 4. For easiness purpose, I used only letters. I am not using N like that. We have this data. Now what is asking next finally? Number of students who have taken exactly one subject. Number of students have taken exactly one subject, means what is not mentioned which subject. Here clearly mentioned that maths, here is not mentioned which subject, means we have to find out study only maths, study only physics, study only in chemistry. So for that what you have to do? Here 3 sets are there. For maths I am giving here Venn diagram. First I am doing the for maths, physics, chemistry, right? This is MPC. You want only maths, means this part dotted area. I will mention like red pen. Only this dotted area we want. Suppose only maths if you take. Okay. So if you want to find out who are studying only maths, only we want this part, means what? From the maths to enter into physics is maths physics part is entered, maths chemistry part is entered, means this is you have to remove. If you remove this part and this part, this internal part, this is called as MPC. That is common for 3 subjects MPC. If you remove the MP and MC, in 2 times it is removed, means what? 1 time extra it is removed, means you have to add it like that. Simply only study maths. Only maths if you want, that is from the maths we have to remove maths physics plus maths chemistry plus, here we have to remove maths physics plus maths chemistry minus MPC. Why it is taken as minus MPC? Because from the maths and physics this part comes once, from maths and chemistry also this part comes one more time, 2 times it comes, means 1 time extra we have taken in these 2, that is we have to remove. That's it. Now this comes to you. Now tell me what is the answer for only maths. This is maths 23 minus maths physics 12 plus maths physics maths chemistry, this is maths chemistry 9 minus MPC 4, right? This is 23 minus, this is 21 minus 4 is 17. 23 minus 17. 23 minus 17 is clearly 6. Okay, 6 is there? Yes, it is first option. Is only maths. Can we find out rest of them? Yes, I will explain to you rest of them also. I will do one thing. You can do the one more I am doing. Remaining can try. Very, very interesting. Easy. But you have to read the data carefully. Right. Now I want to find out only physics. To find out only physics, I'm drawing this is. Okay. We want only physics. Suppose we have to remove from total physics, physics to maths combination, physics to chemistry combination. If you remove, but here it will be removed extra one more time. Therefore, only physics, tell me. That is a P is equals P minus of MP plus PC minus NPC, right? That's it. P is how much? 24 minus MP plus PC. MP plus PC. 12 plus 7, 19 minus MPC 4, right? 24 minus 19 minus 4 is 15. 24 minus 15 is 9, right? So that is which option? Second option. Similarly, if you try same only chemistry, this part we want. Okay, only chemistry means what? From the chemistry we have to remove maths chemistry, physics chemistry, then add the MPC. Can you do? Yes, you can do it. That when you can get the 7. So what is the correct option now? All are correct. Okay, in this question it's very simple, but he's asking the number of students who have taken exactly one subject. Maybe exactly physics, maybe maths, maybe chemistry. Clear? JEE means 2019. So what I explained the question number 8, same model is given that number of maths, physics, chemistry indirectly. What is we have to approach for this one? You can see the question. What is the first sentence? In a class of 140 students, numbered 1 to 140. There are 140 students in a class. There are the like roll numbers 1 to 140 is allowed. Are all, what is next? All even numbered students opted maths course. All even number students in 1 to 140. From 1 to 140, what are the even number of students? Even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8 up to 140. You have to take generally. The how many of them are there? We can count. That number indicates the number of students taking maths course. Okay, instead of that one, what you have to do? To collect the number of persons so and so from the so and so, what you can do? In case of maths, okay, simply even number, what is the common difference is 2. So to collect the number of students in maths, total number of students 140 divided by 2 you have to take. This is called a step function. 140 by 2. Why I have taken 2? Because even number is a difference is 2. Odd number is also 2 like that. So 140 by 2 we have to take. So this resultant value indicates the number of students opted maths. No need to write 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. How many of them are there like that. So here M indicates here number of students who are opted maths course out of 140 numbered even number students. All even number students is given. That's why you can take like this. This is one of the short form to collect the number of persons, right? 140 by 2 is 70. Step of 70 is 70 only. Right, next. For same way, we can proceed rest of them also. Then whose number of divisible by 3 opted by physics? Means for number of students opted by physics is what? Divisible by 3 means 140 by 3. In a even number is divisible by 2, we can take 140 by 2. Here divisible by 3 is given. 140 by 3 indicates number of students who opted physics course, right? That is 3 4s 12, 3 6 18 point something you can get. But under step function, we can take only integer part 46. That's it. This is called a step function. It is also known as greatest integer function, right? Now next sentence. Those whose number is divisible by 5 is opted chemistry. For chemistry, divisible by 5 by 5. 5 2's 10, 5 8s. 5 2s 10, 5 8s 5. Therefore, there are 28 students who opted chemistry, right? MPC, what are those? You have taken like this. Next sentence. And those who is divisible by 5 opted chemistry. Then the number of students who didn't opt for any of these courses. Number of students who didn't opt any of these courses means what? From the total universal set. This is we can take universal set like this, some x. This is M, P, C. Okay. We have to find out total union. MPC union. This is MPC. From the total MPC union, remove from the MPC union is remove from the X, means our total number of students 140. We can collect the who didn't opt for any of these courses. Okay. To find out union, what we want? Maths, physics, chemistry, like A, B, C already there. We want A and B, B and C, C and A, and A and B and C we want. In place of A, B, C, what I have taken? MPC. How can I take those? Simply way, same way. M and P we can take step of 140. 140 by MP divisible by M is number of persons divisible by 2. Here divisible by 3. What is LCM of 2 and 3? 6. That is we have to take like this. Simple. Like what is this division? 4, 6 2 12, 6 3 is 18. 18 point something, 23 point something we can get, that is 23. Clear? Same way, can we guess? Physics, chemistry. Physics, chemistry. 3 5 is 15. That is 140 by 15 you have to take. Right. 5 2s, 5 8s by 5 3s. 3 9s. 9 point something we can get is 9 only. Right. Now MP, PC is over. Now MC. 140 by MC. These two. 2 and 5. 2 into 5 is 10. Right. 140 divided by 10 means 14 we can get. And also next MPC we want. Maths, physics and chemistry means what? We can divide 140 by 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 5, 30. Right? 6 5 is 30. Like that you have to take. That is to 140, 0 0 cancel, 14 by 3. 3 fourths. 4 point something you can get, that is 4 only. Now like that you have to collect the data in this question. Previous question, 8th question, everything you only given, but here you have to collect. That is a major role here. Now we have to find out who didn't opt for any of these courses. Means for from the total 140, we have to remove this union. We have to remove this union. How can you find out this union? Now M union, P union C we can find out. That is what? M plus P plus C minus MP minus PC minus MC plus MPC. Already I have given to you. That is I am using here. What is the result? M plus P plus C. We can add 70 plus 46. 70 plus 46 plus 28. 8 6 14 4 1. 7 1 8. 8 4 12. 12 plus 2 14. For this one. Minus of MP, PC, MC. These we can add. 23 plus 9. 32. 32. It's like 3 9. 12. 12 plus 4. 16 6 1. 2 1 3. 3 1 4. 46. It took plus MPC is 4, right? Got 144. Plus 4 8 we can write 148 minus 46. This is clearly 102. What you got? The number of students study at least one subject, maths, physics, chemistry. But what we want? Who didn't opt any subject? So therefore who didn't opt any subject means what? We want opt any subject. Total minus M union P union C. Total how much? How many members are there? 140 minus what you got? 102. 140 minus 102 is clearly 38 persons who didn't opt any course. Clear? That is which option? Clearly second option. It's very easy method I explained without taking all the numbers. How can we collect the number of persons so divisible by so and so? We can take like this. Clear? Is it clear? Yes, these are the various questions I did on the sets. In next class, I will start the relations. Here I explained everything. What is a set, concept, property, operations, Venn diagrams, as well as the different types of questions I did. I hope so you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe. Okay, don't forget to add your valuable comments, maybe for doubts, your required topic. This is one of the major topic for your JEE mains point of view. He will give the maybe one or two questions, total sets and relations. Okay, if you know this is very well sets, we can follow the relations very easy. Is it clear? So we'll see in next video. Till then, have a great time.